Hello, beautiful being. This is something that's been on my heart to share. It's gonna come across like common sense, but I need to say it. Because when I was in my youth, I needed somebody to say it to me and they didn't. So I'm gonna say it right now. Sometimes we trust people because we think that they're like us. And we can get in trouble when we do this. When we assume that a person is trustworthy because there's something about them that reminds us of ourselves. This happened to me when I was in my early 20s. I was 21, and there was a guy that I had a very bad feeling about, but he was pursuing me hard, okay? Like a lot, too much. And my intuition was telling me not to trust him. And he knew that I didn't trust him, and he did not want me to reject him. So he got a woman that was his cousin's girlfriend to vouch for him. And she called me up and she's telling me, oh, he's a great guy, he's wonderful, oh, blah, 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 he's just so sweet, oh, girl. You know, she threw the oh, girl on me. And even though it didn't make me trust him more, psychologically, it made me feel like there was a reason for me to give him a chance. And looking back on the situation, knowing what I know now about spirituality and energy, she was strengthening a cord between me and him, and she was creating an entanglement between the three of us. And so where I didn't trust him, I started to feel drawn to her, and that created an entanglement. And I trusted her. Why? Because she was a woman. I trusted her because she came at me like a friend, like a homegirl, like, oh girl, I got you, you know. And there was nothing that she had invested in me. She didn't help me with anything. She just came across in a way that was seemingly trustworthy, and that created an energetic bond. I allowed that to at age 21, okay? I was wet behind the ears, and she knew that everything that I doubted about him was actually true. And she lied and vouched for him. This is something that's very common with a lot of people, because they are unhappy with where they are in life, and so they love to set other people up for failure. They love to encourage other people to do what they know is what they shouldn't be doing, because in the background they're going to be sitting back saying, this dummy, you know what I mean? I'm being real. And that girl was actually in a relationship. She was a lot older than me, by the way. Okay. She was in her late 30s. I was 21. And she was in a relationship with someone that she knew was never going to marry her because of her religion. He was Muslim and she was raised Christian. He was not going to marry her. He was just with her for the time being, for fun and for companionship and for support. So she wanted to come along and make my life hell and eat popcorn while she watched the show go down, okay? So the moral of the story here is that a lot of times people who love to spread misery or love to siphon energy or love to set people up, they understand human nature actually, because they're very wicked like that, okay? They know how the mind works. They know what makes people kind of let their guard down. And a lot of times what they will do is use someone that they know a person will trust. But my guidance that I'm sharing now, based on my long ago life experience, is not to simply trust someone just because they are like you. Maybe they're of the same culture. Maybe they speak the same language or the same dialect. Maybe they're from the same area. Maybe they use a charm that feels very familiar to you. Maybe they remind you of someone that you once knew that you had good vibes with, or very deep or intimate, sweet relationship with or connection with. Do not let the spirit of familiarity allow you or encourage you to lower your boundaries or your standards just because they make you feel comfortable. Okay? That is something that a lot of con artists do, is they will find what feels familiar to you and tap into that frequency so that you will let your guard down. And so over 20 years ago, I learned that lesson because that guy was major trouble. Like, when I say major trouble, he was major trouble. And every intuitive hit that I got about him, it ended up proving true. And so that experience taught me a lot about my intuition, and that I just need to trust it. But it also taught me a lot about how, you can think sometimes, especially as a woman, oh, she's gonna have my back because, girl power. We'll stick together because we're girls. No. A lot of times that is not the case. And a lot of times a female is just waiting for the chance to make a mockery out of another female because of her own insecurities, and she just wants to watch another person go down. This is also the case in a lot of situations with older people. You assume that, oh, they're older, so they're gonna do right by me because they're seasoned and they're mature and they've been around and they know. A lot of times older people are just very frustrated with their life, and they're jealous of younger people because they feel like, oh, you've got spunk, you've got vitality, you don't have wrinkles, the list goes on and on. You've got a fresh slate, you get lots of attention because of your youth, you can attract whoever you want to. It's like people who are unhappy a lot of times see other people as perfect and not having any struggles, but everybody has struggles, right? But they put a person on a pedestal, and then that's never really a good thing, to put a person on a pedestal, because they idolize them, and in idolizing them they want to be like them, but they're angry that they're not, and so they're very envious. And a lot of times these envious people want to just tear someone down, ruin a chance for them, betray them. So yeah, that's the message for this video. Don't ever trust somebody just because they come from your hood, or they talk like you, or they make you feel comfortable because they like the same things as you. That's actually something that a lot of narcissists do intentionally. And the wonderful thing is that the beautiful beings in this divine collective, you are so psychically intuitive that I know that you don't judge a book by its cover. You connect with a person, or you pick up on their energy and let their energy speak for itself. But in my younger years, I had to fall a couple times to figure that out, that's the way to really let your intuition guide you as far as the judgments that you make about a person and how close you should let them get to you, not the fact that they look like you or they make you feel comfortable in some way. Yeah, and that age thing is very important as well, because a lot of people assume that because someone is older that they're going to be wise and seasoned, but sometimes older people are not wise, and they have made a series of poor judgments, and they are just waiting to con a younger person out of their happiness so that they can feel like they have one up on them. Okay, so just be aware of that. And I hope this is helpful, beautiful being. I love you. I wish you peace, joy, and so many